Okay. Should what channel do you have on it already?
We like that. Huh? The channel you get on there, Isupk online classes, and then Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So last week we went over the sun, the moon, the star. We went over Captain Tazayak's name. Okay, it is a little dark here. Now that the light is on, I can see the shadow all on the wall over here.
God.
You know what I mean? God. Right, but if anyone online, right, if you're watching and you can see everything clearly on the board, you know what I mean, just put a 1 in the chat if you can see everything clearly on the board. If things look a little blurry or it's a little dark where you cannot make out what's going on the board, put an 8. All right. By the way, you have the word dark. Dark is kashak. All right, kashak. All right. Okay. And then we got light. Light is a war. Right. So let me get some room on the board for that.
You got 2 1s and 1 8.
You got 2 1s and 1 8. Okay, so we're gonna bring this a little forward.
Clear. It looks clear on there.
It looks clear then. So we got 2 1s and 1 8.
3 1s.
3 1s and then 1 8. Okay, so the person with the 1 8, you know, you got to look up at his signal or the pixelation of your video. Sometimes I know if you're watching on your phone, depending on how much service you got, it'll put the quality of the video down. You know what I mean? Yeah, things are a little blurry. You see me okay, but then you can't make out the writing exactly on the board. Right? So just look to see, you know, make sure that your video is at least 480p, right, on YouTube, right? And up, right? 480p is for good video, but still saves more data than 70, 720 and 1080 and all that, right? Okay. Dark is kashak, right? Kashak. And then we have light. Light is a war. A war. Right? There's a famous brother in Israel, in the state of New Jersey, called Kashaka War. His name means dark light. Okay, good, right? So of course, the light in our solar system here is created by the sun, right? In the dark, right, there's another object in the sky that reflects light from the sun on the other side of the planet usually, right? When it's night, you call that thing the moon, right? The word moon, as Ecclesiasticus says, is the same word that became the month. So the word for moon is Qadash, right? The word for moon is Qadash. The word for dark is Khashak. The word for moon is Qadash, right? Okay? Okay? And then the stars in the sky, right? Not the star of Moloch. Oh, I want to see what word that they use for the star in Star of Moloch, right? Because this is the star in the sky. The star in the sky is called Kawakab, right? Let me go to that Moloch scripture and see what word they use for star there. And Moloch, by the way, in Hebrew means king, meaning some deity that they worship as a king, right? So we have Amos 5 and 26, which we're going to get in Hebrew. Okay, so we go to our favorite interlinear, Hebrew interlinear by Hagios Tech, Hagios or Hagios, Hagios. It's the best one that we've proved so far, right? From Google stores. and they use the word kawakab there, right? They use the word kawakab for star. Okay? So now the star of Molech is a thing on the earth. Okay? So the star of Molech is not even a thing in the sky. It's not a shape, but it's similar to, there is a star in your neighborhood. Or there might be a band of guys that come together to have a music group, and you say one of them is the star. So Destiny's Child, right? We all know Destiny's Child, right? Yeah, for those who don't know, I know there's some young people out there might not know, right? This was the group that Beyonce was from. And when they performed or they did a music video, they always said that Beyonce was the star. Now, she's not in the sky, right? She's a living, breathing human, just like everybody else. Go to the hospital when she have a baby, get sick, eat food, you know what I mean? Just like everybody else, right?
Slap people.
Slap people, I think her sister slaps lines. But, you know, they say the chip don't fly too far from the block. So who knows what's going on? So, you know, she might have slapped Jay-Z her damn self. You know what I mean? You know, we're destroyed in this place. So a sister might slap a man or slap her boyfriend because she's poorly trained. And I don't have Beyonce as the best disciplined person or the best mannered person or the best, you know, decently dressed person on the earth. So I wouldn't put anything past her, right? But out of Destiny's Child, she was the star. Okay? And the star of Molech, that Molech figure that they were worshiping was a statue of a thing on the earth. So the star of Molech was not even a star in the sky. All right? It was nothing like that. It wasn't a shape. It was to say, just like you're the star of Destiny's Child, this is the star of this God. So, for example, there's a God in Christianity, right? And they placate after the God of Israel. But the star of the religion of Christianity is the white Jesus Christ, which we don't get this picture around here no more. We had this picture on the floor, but they walk all over it. I think a hole came in the middle of that thing because everybody kept stomping on the picture of the star of Christianity. Right? The star of the Christians' God, right? The star of Islam, right? Their God is Allah. The star of Islam is what they call a Prophet Muhammad, right? He's not a prophet, but that was the star of their God. And we can go all day with other religions. The star of Molech had a religion. Shion had a religion, and they had the stars of their religion too. Got this up.
Real quick, we got a quick question, sir. Just want to shout out MOMs, Lashawan Qadash, Rabban, Trupetazawar, Jay, and HEADQUATERS, and Rabban asked a question. He said, if I could, would you be able to put the name of that app in the chat? So what is the name of the app? Okay,
the name of the app is the Hebrew/Greek interlinear. All right, Hebrew/Greek, Hebrew/Greek, right?
Okay.
Interlinear. That's INTERLINEAR, right? And the author of the app or the publisher on how it go, right? The person who made the app, it's going to say Hagios Tech, HAGIOS, HAGIOS Tech like technology, right? TECH, Hagios Tech. That's the interlinear that I found the most convenient out of all of them, right? All of these, even the Bible apps, you know what I mean? There's other brothers have done, we've all came to the conclusion of the same app, even though in New York here, when I first came to the school, everybody wasn't privy with apps on phones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We was just getting into it, you know what I mean? It was still like what year was that? 2015, around those years, we was just getting into the flow of Google apps. You know what I mean? So I downloaded like 8 Bible apps. You know what I mean? And then, of course, at that time, General Kobalimoff was teaching the Hebrew class, and we all had to buy Tanakh Torahs. You got it?
Which one is it, sir?
Okay, this is the Google store, or this is the iPhone store. Okay. Okay, this is different. Okay, you see how these are? This is like a different kind of app, right? And this one I didn't find helped me word for word, right? So I tried a bunch of, just like this, I tried a bunch of interlinear apps. You know what I mean? This was the best Bible app, by the way. This one right here. And this one, I believe, this is the one that I download to get the word in the King James Version. So as you read in the King James Version, this one give you the Hebrew concordance code right behind it. You click on the concordance code, the word comes up for the word.
Okay.
The Hebrew word comes up for the English word. But now this one here, when the word comes up in the English word, it's not going to always be written in the same tense as it's written in Slack. You want to hold it? Or you good? Okay. It's not going to be written in the same tense. You know what I mean? As you're going to read it in the Tanakh. So after getting this app, right? This is my 3rd Bible app. I got 3 Bible apps on my phone. I got 2 of this, of the regular one without the concordance, just in case I got to hold 2 scriptures for whoever's teaching the class at the same time. And then I got this 3rd one that I might have up at the pop-up window, or I might just use this one, right? Right? I don't see the one that we use in here, right? That's not it neither. Hold on. Take Greek off of there. Just put Hebrew interlinear and see what comes up.
Okay.
All right. Okay. When I go to my Play Store, right? Okay. There we go. So when I go to my Play Store, right, and I put Hebrew interlinear, right, that Bible came up on its own in the search, right?
Is that the first one?
Huh?
Is it the first one?
What do you mean?
The first app.
The app is right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is the first page. So when I put the search in, right, that's what comes up. All right. And I went through all of them. You know what I mean? I went through all of them, and this one that I downloaded, right, was the best one. It was made by Hagios Tech. I read this on the Sabbath service if I'm not the reader, right? And I follow along just so I can learn the vocabulary as we go along. I feel like it's helped me. All you see me doing, getting words and quoting them and doing the Hebrew words, is from going along in the Sabbath service with the app to build my vocabulary. So of course there are words that are more common than others, and you're gonna focus on the words that's more common. You know what I mean? You're gonna find me teaching those common words a lot. You know what I mean? Okay, you got it. You know what I mean? And so for those who didn't see, this is how it looks inside the app. Okay, and you scroll along, right? So you're gonna have the words as it is in the sentence, and then you're gonna have what they'll put here in the concordance. Right? So as you see, certain words that comes up, it's not gonna be in the same tense as above. For example, down right here we have Aisha Yatham, right? So of course in the concordance they put the Aisha with a H. Can you see clearly? Right? They put the Aisha at the bottom with the H in there, right? And that's what usually you get with the concordance that just has the Bible, right? Let me show you the other app I'm talking about. This is the other one I'm talking about, right? Regular Bible app, but it has the concordance code in there. When you press that little S right there, it puts all the concordance numbering in there. You can take the S to take it all off, read it without it, right? So press the S, you go to what verse is that? 26, right? And then it's gonna say the star of your God, which He made to yourselves. Can you read it? Right? Come. I want to click on H6213. It's gonna give me the Aisha with the H, but the Aisha with the H wasn't the tense in the actual sentence in Hebrew. Right? It was you see what I'm saying? So this is an example of things you have to come across, which is why I got the app, just to make sure the tense was always right. Okay? Okay, no sweat. By the way, Aisha means make or do. That is one of the most common words in the Bible, right? Good. Also, we had the word shamash. You have people out there that say the Isupk made up the Lashawan Qadash. Big up to Ra'aban until he had a good class today. Ra'aban in the UK, he got like 5 children, you know what I mean, in the class, learning their tribe, speaking the Hebrew. All I thought it was officers, and I thought these kids was like, you know, the way that they looked 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? A slew of kids in the class. You know what I mean? So it was a beautiful thing that he did. He was breaking down how to break down your registry. You know what I mean? Oh, it was a good thing, right? I would have children watch his class that got children on screen, so your children don't feel like they're under say pressure. They can see that other children are going through it too, learning it, saying the words, so your children can be more in a comfort zone, seeing the other children on screen. You know what I mean? Learning Hebrew and saying it and saying Canada one can, and you know what I mean? It's good, all right? See if you can look up the sun god Shamash, right? Or just put it online. Only you know do the thing with the screen. Okay, because the Jewish man calls the sun Shemesh, but with the Lashawan Qadash, we know that we don't use the late-made European vowels. And those European vowels meaning these E's here. So we would write Shamash with a Sha, Ma, and a Sha. Shamash, right? Not consistent of these added European vowels in between. Okay? So we would say Shamash. The Jewish man, he would add something called the Getch system in the thing to implement or to indicate vowels, right? Those dots you see around written in the Tanakh or the Torah, right? Of course, when he speaks his Yiddish, he doesn't write like that. He doesn't write like this. He's gonna write with an additional ha or a wa in there. As a matter of fact, we got a Hebrew apocrypha right here, right? As an example, right? Now, in the Hebrew Apocrypha, right, you're going to have the regular written scriptures on the top. Ha, that means that. Sha, by, that's either 7 or the Sabbath. You know what I mean? So we can read what's going on up here, right? What's that right there? Ha, kwam, the rise, yawam, day, yawam. So it could be days, right? Shanya is what? Akkad, Shanya, Shalash. Shanya is 2. Anashyam is men, right? Good, so we can see that, right? But when you go to the bottom of the page, they got something going on down here that I still don't know what this is. Is it clear down for the bottom?
It's clear, sir. It's
clear, right? In the writing in the bottom, they got additional I's everywhere. I. They got this long word right here. They got I all up in it. I. Nai, tie, ra, tight. They got all these I's in there. You know what I mean? Look at this one over here. Shamaya, ra, Maya shine, or they probably say shin, right? So this is some other kind of Jewish dialect where they've used the I and the Yah, we see the Yah here, right, and additional things and was all over the place, right, to create another kind of written, to write out their dialect with the vowels that's in there. I can't interpret nothing that's in here. If I'm going to interpret this, can't. If I'm going to try to interpret this, I would have to take out the eyes. So now we have natai, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Na or natar. Natarata. No, I don't know. Here's the format. We gotta get the format too, right? Okay. I hope everybody got all of this. Oh, do we have the shamash right quick? And then we're gonna go into the format.
I got the shamash.
Okay.
And Robert said, so basically the concordance gives you the root word. Concordance basically gives you the root word.
That's what the name of the game is, to always find the root word. Right? So from the beginning, when you start reading the sentence or any word, as he pointed out right here, right? Let's get the book again. Right, random page, right? Okay. Oh, it came to the same page. All right. Okay. So I'll find any word, right? At the first, don't ignore these dashes, right? These dashes wouldn't be written there in ancient Hebrew, right? It's not too clear. Okay, let me go out and come back in. Right? Okay. When I find any word, my goal is to identify where there is a preposition, right? At the beginning. A ba is a preposition. So as I'm reading, I would have to, in my thoughts, consider that this ba is not a part of the word. All right? Ba as a preposition means in. After that, we have to consider the second word, right? The second, not the word, second letter, right? That Yah could be a he. In context, you wouldn't usually find a, I don't think you see, okay, but we have a da here. We can see ba yad ya nawa, right? In our culture, nawa means, you remember what it means? Huh? Ooh, close. Okay, na'a means now. But that's the word by itself, not as a possessive. So possessive at the end of the word, you read a nawa at the end of the word. A possessive means it belongs to something or some people. So possessive is always like his, her, theirs, ours, like that. So out of me, you, his, her, us, you be considering that at the end of a word. So we see nawa at the end of a word. Where the word go? I can't remember where. I don't see where. Australia, right? So nawa at the end of a word is some possession, especially that ya there. You see a ya toward the end of the word. That's an indicator for a possessive.
Is it saying in his hands?
That's exactly what it's saying, but not his, because that na is there. So you're close. So nawa is our. Nawa is our. You see how even the words sound alike? Because English is born out of Hebrew. Now our, right? Good. So we have ba as a preposition. Ba, who knows what ba means? Very good. Right? And then we have the root word. There we go. Yad, which means hand. Then ya to say indicate possessive. And then here's the possessive, nawa. And nawa means? There you go. Sounds just like it. So in our hand. Just like that. And you're going to be doing this all day. Wa as a preposition. Right? Who knows what wa as a preposition is? Just remember what a wa is. Wa is for wawa, which is a fish hook. When you go fishing, how much fish can you catch? A lot, right? When you catch the fish and you're taking it home, you stack it up onto the fish hook. This wa became our way of saying and, right? And so why? Because of its purpose in our life as in agriculture, as farmers, as simple men, fishing, right? That became our word for and. That and the ma there, it could either, depending on the subject, it could be mother. Usually it means if. Means if. Is if. Ama is mother. All right? Then we got what? Ayan. Ayan. We say this all the time. Where have you heard this before, Yatazar?
When we say I am the ball.
There you go. What does ayan mean?
It means no or none.
None. It means none. It means nothing. Right? Good. Right? So, in our hands, and if nothing, this is na harag. Oh, damn. Na harag. Someone just got killed. Harag is the word for kill. All right? All right. Awath is usually like it's like ath is to apply a verb, and then ka is your, right? I might got this one wrong. We gotta check, right? And then we got wa'ath. Okay, so ath is to apply a verb. So probably this awath is not applying the verb, all right? Ath means apply the verb. Ath you're gonna see everywhere. Ath is like our way of saying a bullet point. You know what I mean? Meaning we're still talking about the verb, which was harag. Harag was the verb kill. Okay? And then we got bayath ka. Right? I'm not sure if you remember the word bayath. Bayath is one of the it's the word after the letter ba. The figure of it is a bayath. The letter ba, right, is the shape of a tent. Bayath is the word for tent. Okay? So bayath ka. Bayath is tent, or today you call that your house. Bayath. So bayath ka, your house. Okay? So now, of course, you look at it. If you don't know the culture very well, you say bayath, and you look at the ba, and you say, oh, this could be a preposition to say ba. But then, bayath is a house, right? And ka at the end of a word always falls into his, her, me, your, us. In this case, ka is you. All right, good. All right. Okay. Do we get shamash right quick, just so we can prove the Lashawan Qadash to be valid?
Yes, we do, sir.
So the scripture says, "Prove all things," and we got a lot of haters out there.
It's on the screen now.
Okay, there we go. Read what's on the screen there, Rakusha.
God. Shamash, and this is from Britannica.com.
Where is this from?
Britannica.com.
Britannica.com. The Britannica, you mean the encyclopedia stuff? Well, I don't know. I don't know if we can trust such educated and authentic white scholars from Britannica. But most people would, right? So of course, Britannica is a scholarly platform where they do all research and everything in the world, from what I know, right? Just think of rich white people, and they go out and send people to just research everything you can think of, right? I think to the point where they got their own dictionary, right? And they have their own encyclopedia, books and stuff like that, right? And what is Britannica saying, Yatazar?
Okay, they say, I'll take it from the top.
Please.
Shamash.
So in the Britannica, they got something called a shamash, written like this. Not written like how the Jewish man wrote it. Right? The Jewish man calls the sun shemash. Keep that in mind. We in UPK, seeing that the Jewish scholars at Yale University said that originally Hebrew didn't have vowels. So when you see Hebrew words in the Hebrew, you have to take out any sound of vowels and turn everything into an ah sound. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, mana, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, sha, ta. Right? Just like the native Indians spoke. Right? Keep reading.
Shamash, Mesopotamian god.
Now, Shamash was a Mesopotamian god. So you're talking about these Babylonian type people. You're talking about going way back. You're talking about the time of the Hammurabi Code. All right? For those who don't know what the Hammurabi Code is, that's where you always hear an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and guess what? That code was taken from the Bible. Right? Now, as the Old Testament Israelite, I went through this. Right, I got my phone charger stolen by a fake Israelite, an Old Testament Israelite in Brooklyn, right? And he told me, right, that the laws of Moses came from us adapting the culture of Babylon. So even though he's an Old Testament Israelite, he believes that all the laws we got it from heathens. That's a lie. Okay, no problem. Keep reading, Methodol.
Shamash, Akkadian, Sumerian, Utu. In Mesopotamian religion, the god of the sun.
Now, in Mesopotamia, they worshipped the sun, right? And of course, I don't know at what specific. Let me see what time this might have been, right? What era was Mesopotamia?
According to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Mesopotamia, 8000–2000 BC.
Around what time was the flood of Noah?
According to Wikipedia, 1300 to 1000 BCE.
Oh no. They said the flood happened in 1000 BCE. Does that sound right to you?
1000 BCE.
1300 BCE to 1000 BC. It could be right. I don't know. Hold on.
You said 1000?
1000. I don't know.
That's off as hell.
It sounds off, right? Hold on. In what year did Ramesses II reign? In what year did the Pharaoh Ramesses II reign in Egypt?
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Ramses II was the third pharaoh of ancient Egypt's 19th dynasty, reigning from 1279 to 1213 BCE.
Okay, so they got the flood of Noah wrong, because ain't no way, right? The flood of Noah happened 20 years before Ramesses II. All right, so about Ramesses II is who they say was the last pharaoh before we came out of Egypt, right? So he reigned up until 1200 BCE, right? Roughly, right? So we served Egypt slavery 40 years, right? So added 40 years up to 1200, roughly, right? You're looking at 1600 BCE when we went into Egypt as 70 souls. So we're looking at some time before that. So I'm gonna say, probably about 2500 BC, 2000 to 2500 BC was probably the flood of Noah. So Yatazar was right. You know what I mean? Google got the timing of the flood of Noah wrong, based on the time that Ramesses II existed. Okay? Now they said Mesopotamia existed roughly 4000 BCE. I don't know about that neither, because of course, the flood of Noah, right? After the flood of Noah was Ham and them, right? Ham and them. Cush came, he led out Babylon, right? But the point is that Mesopotamia was a city of these Hamites, right? And that Babylonian religion, they worship Shamash. And the point that we was getting to all of this is that in the time of Babylon, it's a known fact that everyone spoke the same language, okay? And everybody spoke the Hebrew, right? We were called the Hebrews because our people kept the language of Hebrew, named Eber, right? Eber was the name of the man in the English, right? To say Hebrew or to say from the past, right? Ibar in the Hebrew, right? That's past. So Ibar is the word for Eber, the man's name. Ibar is the word to say Hebrew as a language. Ibar Yah, right? Good. Right? In English today, it's similar to how you say Iberia. That word Iberia is Iberia, Hebrew. I believe they named that. What country did they name Iberia? Is that Spain? Where is Iberia?
According to Library of Congress, Iberia, Spain and Portugal occupy the Iberian Peninsula, which is separated at its southern tip from North Africa by only a narrow strait situated at the juncture of the Mediterranean and the
So there you go, right? So they labeled Spain and Portugal the peninsula of Iberia, right? In the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, right? We knew that our race as Negroes, right, namely Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, ruled Europe for 1,000 years after rising to prominence from being slaves in the Roman Empire and rose up in the military ranks to now be the rulers of the Roman Empire, right? So now Iberia, right, could be named after us because that Iberia is the same Ibar we're talking about. Okay? Good, right? Now, when it comes to Hebrew, right? As we were saying before, at the time of Babel, before the Lord divided us, right? Divided all the nations, divided the people's languages. We all spoke Hebrew. They called the God that they worship the sun Shamash because that was the word for the sun. All right? Is there any more on the writing from Britannica?
It talks about the moon and Ishtar and the Trinity.
Okay, no problem. Well, that's all we need, right? So in the Hebrew, removing the European vowels, we say Shamash, right? In the same way that Britannica said they called their sun god because they were worshiping the sun. They called him Shamash in the English. Now they're not even saying that that's Hebrew. They're just saying this was the name. This is how they pronounced it, Shamash. Now if you don't believe that, then I don't know what you need, right? Yeah.
There's something here I would like to read it to you.
Please.
Shamash, as the solar deity, exercised the power of light over darkness and evil.
Oh, we got light on the board. We got light and dark on the board. Light is Awar, dark is Kashak. Right? Go ahead.
In this capacity, he became known as the God of justice and equity and was the judge of both gods and men.
Mm-hmm.
According to legend, the Babylonian king Hammurabi received his code of laws from Shamash.
He read his code of laws from the sun. And by the way, in Christianity, this is who they worship as Jesus Christ, the sun god. That's why they worship on a Sunday. In Egypt took these same gods too, right? Egypt's gods came from Babylon. They called him Ra, right? And Ra was like the god of gods. And then under the god of gods, you have regular gods, right? You have Horus and Seti and all these bunch of losers, right? Bunch of nothing, mystery nothings. You see what I'm saying? And under them, you have, I guess, man, right? Men that are half gods, or they got some loser religions out there. Hammurabi and his religion in Babylon was another set of loser religions. You see what I'm saying? I'm calling them loser because in the Bible, right? Their God always loses to our God because our God is the living and their God is some mythical, fake story that some man made up, right? And they worship the sun and they call the sun Shamash, right? And it just so happens that in Hebrew, the same word for sun is Shamash, and they spoke Hebrew back then, all right? Because when the Babylonians was building the Tower of Babel in Babylon, right? They spoke Hebrew up until the Lord divided their languages. All right, good. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of all this now. So we got the evidence that the Lashawan Qadash is a true dialect. All right, it was been dead for a long time because for a long time we've been beat to not have our language. The Jewish man has pretended to be us, but he didn't speak the dialect as we spoke it. He used European vowels and history, Britannica. Don't blame us, man. Blame Jewish people. You gotta blame Britannica. You see what I'm saying? Because they're the one that said that. By the way, I was put on about Shamash back when I was going to a community college called Kingsborough, right? They forced us for the prerequisites of the curriculum to learn some I can't remember the name of the class was called. It was like an ancient history religious class. I don't know how it was. It was like an ancient history class, something like that. And we had to learn about this damn Hammurabi code. And they said Shamash. Later on, I come to the school, and next thing you know, Shamash is a Hebrew word. Right. Woe and behold, you know what I mean? And I could point it out that proves the Lashawan Qadash. Right. So any idiot out there want to say to you out there, yo, Lashawan Qadash is not a real story, then tell me what God they worshipped in Mesopotamia.
Shemesh.
Not Shemesh. They ain't worship Shemesh. They ain't calling on Shemesh. You say Shemesh today, they'll come on you. They'll say to you. They'll say Ma. Right? They'll say Ma. Ma means what? Ma means what? By the way, in that same oppressive college, right? For a language course, we got a prerequisite for language class, right? They forced us to learn two of them. I learned Spanish and I learned some Chinese. This same Ma is how you ask a question in Chinese. I kid you not, man. You see what I'm saying? So we're in the book over here, right, from Yale University, right? We got this book over here from Yale University, right? Yale University, they put down affirmative action, so I guess no more black kids can go to these high-end colleges no more, Harvard and Yale and what's the other one, Princeton, right? This book right here, right? You can get this online on Amazon, right? I got like 3 of them. I sent one to Jamaica. I made sure that we are stacked with our weaponry in the UPK, which is the evidence. You see, I mean, prove all things, right? These names you're looking at right here, all these broads, these are Jewish scholars. Bonnie Pedrati, Vicky Hoffa, right, and Rebecca Apps, right. These are professors in college, and they are labeled as Jewish Hebrew scholars, right? And this book comes from Yale University. Where's that? New Haven, London, Connecticut. Yeah, that's where Yale University is. Now, in this book, that's in the language series, the language section of Yale University, right? We go to page 3, and it says, number 1, the Hebrew alphabet. Can you read it? Can you see it?
Right here.
Right there?
Good.
Perfect. Right there, right? It says the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world. So when people want to talk about, you want to say something after that? Okay, come. So when people want to talk about, but Hebrew, the Israelites was the last built nation, or, the hieroglyphs, or the original man. Yale University says the Hebrew is the oldest language in the world. So what we're learning right now is the oldest language in the world. So old, you can go to Britannica and look up Mesopotamia, and they're going to say the word for the sun is Shamash and not Shemesh. Okay? Still in use today because this is Jewish people, Jewish authors, Jewish Hebrew scholars. They think that they're still using it. But here's the thing. So I'm going to keep going. Our own alphabet, talking about the English, right, is a descendant of it. English is a descendant of Hebrew, right, by a circuitous route. The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development. Good. Originally, can you see that right there?
Yes, sir.
What does the word originally mean? In the origin. We're talking about back in time. Original. We don't say that. It's the original one. The root word of original is origin. Right? Originally, only the consonants were used. Meaning what? What Vicky Hoffa and Bonnie Pedrati Kittle, they're saying that the Hebrew that they speak today is not the real Hebrew. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying in Yale University. in the college that we can't afford. You see what I'm saying? You hate the UPK because we speak the Lashawan Qadash. You're gonna get $1 million and you're gonna send your kids to Yale and they're gonna learn that Hebrew ain't had no vowels. They're gonna learn all that the UPK could have taught you for free without your $1 million salary that you got from being some seller or whatever it may be. All right? Good. So that's that. That's the books, right? That's the books. That's Yale University. That's Britannica. Don't be mad at us. And by the way, you know, even if you took away all those books, I made them $5,000. We got copies of them. We got copies. We can print this one. You know, I'll put the pictures on Facebook. You can Google it by now. You know what I mean? That same page that I got there. All right? So you can never remove that out of history now, right? The Lashawan Qadash is real. You see what I'm saying? Now, we learning that in here. Okay? Good. Okay? Oh, by the way, I know Yetazad his mouth dropped when I'm talking about the Ma, right? The common word that they say for this is Shama. They say Shama. That's how they say what, right? But if you say Sha without the Ma, right, it doesn't mean what. But what they do is, at the end of their sentence, Ma is like their question mark. So they'll say Ni is you, Ni is you, and then Zhao is your name. So that's my bad. Like, this is college, man. It's college.
Days,
yeah.
I'll leave you one word in Chinese says Ni Hao. So
Ni,
as you say
Ni Hao.
Right.
Ni is you and Hao is good. Right. To say you good, that's how they say hello. Ni Hao, you good. But if you say Ni Hao Ma, now it's not hello. Now it's are you good? You good? Now it's a question. And because of the UPK, now I know that Ma is them Moabites from back in the time of the Moabites, stone and all them speaking Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? When the Lord divided their language too. But their language came from Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? Or why they say Ma? Why not say Ra? Why not say Ta? Ni Hao Ta. Or Ni Zhao Shima Menza Ta. You know what I mean? Why say Ma if it's not the Hebrew? It just so happens that Ma is our way of forming our questions. So you say Yatazah.
I was going to say, primarily, the fingerprint or the DNA of the Hebrew is still find them in these languages because they are children of the original language.
We're the salt of the earth. So from everything, you know what I mean? We there. All right? So we're going to talk about the ancient Asiatic black man, I don't know what they said, the original man. You know what I mean? The original man, you don't consider Hebrew the original language? Get out of here. Right? The Jews are black. They us. All right? So we got moon, Qadash, it's the same word for month. We ran over star, Kawakab, right? So we're gonna get these off the board. And then we want to get into sentences. At the end of the class, I want to do the alphabet just to make sure that we know everything with letters. As a matter of fact, should we do it now? What did I say I was going to do a while ago?
You say constructing sentences?
Constructed sentences. Captain Tazayak's name, the root word is roar, right? From what I understand, Captain Tazayak's name means stronghold, right? Stronghold. Right? In a stronghold, the stronghold is like a castle, right? A castle is a stronghold, right? As an example, right? And every strong, it doesn't got to be a castle specifically. It could be a fortress. It could be a fortress with woods, with big tree trunk staves into the ground. You make a wall, right? But over every stronghold, there's a man that when he sees danger, he's gonna yell out. He's gonna roar. You're gonna call that battle cry, and everyone's gonna gather to the gates. By the way, here's another one, correct? Because Rabbah is in England, right? All over England, you're gonna come across this word right here, shire. Shire. I want to know what this means because I've been given the impression that this means gates, and now gate gate in Hebrew just happens to be shire. 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 Right? Okay. I'm gonna use Captain Desir's name. Right? We went over that last week, but we get the idea. Okay. Big up to the cat. You don't know. All right. Super warrior, always working, stays busy. Right? We all aspire to be like him in the gifts that we've been given. So even though our work might not be his work, whatever work we gotta make sure we pour our hearts out, as you will see him openly pour his heart out to do work consistently online. Our works might not be online, but we gotta make sure in the work of the Lord we do some work. Consistent. We gotta strive to be consistent, right? We gotta be like a burning fire, right? God. Iron. That word comes down to being city. Right? Babu Shah, right? Shah is a preposition to say pertaining to. Pertaining to. Because pertaining to the city, all cities got gates. That's correct. The water. Right? By the way, shire also means hair. Shire is also the word for hair. It's very easy to remember because you got a H and both A and I and R in the same exact order, both of them. So this is your shire. Oh man, I got war scarf on, right? But your hair on your head is called a shire, right? And a gate is also a shire. Okay, which word came first for the meaning, gate or hair? I don't know. All right, I don't know. Okay. But there's a lot of words like that. You got words like the word bless. Bless is barak. And then barak also is your knees. Your knees are called barak. Bless is barak. Yahweh Bashim Yashai barak athar. Your knees also called barak because some brothers back in the day, they will get on their knees and praise the Lord or beg for forgiveness or what it may be. Or you bless someone. You bless him to your Lord, you get down on your knees before your Lord. You know what I mean? In ancient times. You know what I mean? Yeah, for a blessing. And he could put the sword on your shoulder, and knight you or whatever the culture was going back. Alright? So barak. There's a cut in the board. I can just use that for the K instead of this one. Yeah. Bless is barak. Barak is knee. What other one is like that? We got let's see. We went over Lily last week, right? We were trying to figure out the origin of the word the lily. We didn't have much, we didn't find much roads to root of that. So we just got the usual finding out any compound word. Most words are compound words. All right. So we got Shah, just like Shah means pertaining to, and then we got Shan, which is teeth. Right. As a matter of fact, let's go over the alphabet, right? What time we got?
It's 8:09, sir.
8:09. Also, in making sentences, right? So like, right? If there's anything that you want to know how to say, let us know. All right?
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
Right, we got, Marla Stevenson checking in from Kansas City. We got Carl Beatles checking in all the way from Trinidad. We got Trini in the house.
We got big up Trinidad, man. Trini to the bone.
Look. We got Trini.
Yeah, come.
We got Kalata Banyawada checking in from Texas. Shalom, warrior.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tasha Wall.
They might not be able to hear you on the camera. I know the mic is on the camera. We over here. So.
We got Tasha Wall, Shalom, Yam Shema, Tabashim, Yam Shah, checking in from Louisiana.
Okay.
And that's it, sir. And Shaw said the water, sir, earlier.
Who?
Shaw.
Shaw. Big up to Shaw, man. Shaw, 2 G's.
Good.
You know what I mean? Bad brother, man.
Something you said earlier, since 724, said the water. Well, I believe it was
Maybe for the interlinear.
The app.
Yeah.
And also we have Sister Yaqua checking in from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But no questions about Hebrew or anything anybody want to say? Okay.
How do you say woman, dog? Coming from Ahava Yahawada. How do you say woman, dog?
A woman, dog. Based on Ibadi's research, a dog is Kala, right? Kala, we gotta check this one out. I believe it's Kala. And he would write it out to say, from the scripture, I'm not gonna write the B word, right? But it's the B word, right? From the scripture in Ecclesiasticus 26, where a shameless woman is counted as a dog, right? But this is dog. I'm gonna put M for man, and then we're gonna put dog, and we're gonna put F for a female dog, right? It will be Kalava, right? As there's a concept out there in making things feminine, you put a ha, but this is not for all cases, right? But this concept of making things a ha is not based on gender, it's based on servitude, right? So of course, if you have a woman, your woman serves you, the man, right? Because we're men, right? So the woman serves us, right? But then we serve the king. Our whatever is written about us would also be written with a ha. For example, I always say this all the time, right? Shalom is peace, right? We know shalom is peace. Okay, shalom is peace. And then you have King Solomon's name. King Solomon's name, right? His name is denoted as, there's two definitions of it, right? One would say peaceful, and the other one would say that he serves peace by being security. That's Josephus garbage, right? But I wouldn't call it garbage because we don't really know. But the book of Josephus says that his name denotes security because he provided our nation peace. When before we never had peace, we had war, we had captivity, and then from David we had civil wars. And that's why it's so dumb too for people to say that we're wrong for can't banging on IUIC. When civil wars is the way when you're trying to unite. You have to go to civil wars so you can know who the Lord is with. Because the body of Christ is not divided. Okay? So Solomon's name was written as Shalama. Shalama. Now, that's not feminine. It couldn't be feminine. That's David's son. You know what I mean? He was a man. He was the king. So a ha, the end of a word, does not always denote gender. But how would I say it? Servitude? Submission. I wouldn't call it submission. It is kind of submission is kind of in the thing, but those are English words that are funny and
What it indicates rank.
I put rank before, but brothers got a little confused by rank. So I'm gonna just put serving, right? Put serving, right? Denotes serving. Right? It's a tense based on serving. Okay? You see it everywhere. You're gonna see Aisha without the hate, without the ha on the end, and then you're gonna see brothers doing things for somebody, for the king, or for by an order for Joshua, and it's gonna say Aisha with a H, right? And that H don't mean doesn't mean soft or he's feminine. It don't mean nothing like that, right? It just denotes servitude. All right? Can you see? Is it too high on the?
No,
you can see Shalom and everything?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Sabbath service. I can't remember where we are on the Sabbath service.
So, if I may, sir,
yeah.
The woman dog will be kalal.
As a don't we? Okay, we got the Hebrew apocrypha here, right? It might be a bit rough right now to find.
Nashia.
Huh?
Nashia.
Nashia. What are you trying to say?
Woman.
Okay, woman is usually commonly it will be Asha. But I know you have Anash. This is the other original. It's say man, Anash, and I believe Nasha.
Hanashia.
Huh?
I'm looking. Hanashia.
Hanashia.
That would be women.
I'll be woman in the concordance.
I'm looking at a text. It's actually Deuteronomy 20 and 16. No, 14 and 16.
Okay.
It says the woman, plural, but it says Hanashiam.
Hanashiam. Okay. Anashiam would be men, right? And so you say Hanashiam. Okay, what scripture was that again?
Genesis 14, verse 16.
Oh, Genesis 14 and 16, right? Okay. Hannah, okay, I see right here. Okay, okay. What they're saying is, so now this is ancient. Of course, that book said there were several developments of, several periods of development, right? So of course, even now, as Israelites, as brothers in America or England, right? You might have a set of slang that we use in just this generation that we didn't use before, and they had their own slang in the generations before. So you can always look for the language that have some kind of progression or change over the years, right? So it says Hanashim here, right? The concordance again, because he don't got all the answers, right? He just put what he could identify, which is the common word for woman, Asha, which is what I believe they was calling woman in the time of David and Solomon, as we're talking about, right? Right. So what they're saying is, what Moses might have been indicating in saying this is that before then, we wasn't calling woman Asha, we was probably calling them Hanash, and it goes for the same for the men. Men were called Anash, right? Where can I find men around here? This if I can go to Genesis chapter 2. Let me go to 3. No, I gotta go to 3 and 1 and go back some of them, right? Okay, so even they call men Adam, right? They call men Ha Adam. Ha meaning the, Adam meaning the man, even though Adam was his name, right? Or really, the man was named after Adam, right? I'm gonna say that, right? But here's the common word for men right here. Ayash. I don't know if it's clear on here or not. Right? It's clear. They can see that right there. Ma Ayash. And then they call the woman at this time Ayash Shah. Ayash Shah. Right? It was a similar thing. So it was a similar thing going on here. Yeah, let me erase that what off the board. Okay. That's a good thing to go. So what you said? Yeah.
Will the word, because he's looking for the B word, just more specifically.
Oh, this would be right here.
Halabah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Halabah. What about using the word in Deuteronomy where it says, "There shall be no whores out of the daughters of Zion"? Could we
check
use
that? They might.
I think they use Qadash.
I probably went over that about 3 times. I can't remember right now. Right? I believe the word for woman there might have been Naira. Okay, no, probably not. Naira is more like damsel. Right?
It's in Deuteronomy 23 and 17.
But I born in the UK too. But just so you can remember, right? In Nigeria, they were selling our people, right? And they just so happened to have a currency called Naira. And Naira just so happened to be our word for damsel. I don't know if there's a correlation there. I don't know, man. I don't know. But their currency is Naira, and they only started having money when? Since, modern times, after we go into slavery. But before that, I believe it was the barter system, right? Trade gold, trade guns for slaves, trade, however the hell it goes. You know what I mean? And their currency is called Naira, right? So let me put woman on the board. Woman on the board. It was Ayash. You'll find this a lot. Ayash Shah, right? And it later became Shah, right? Asha came from the shortening of this word right here, Ayasha. Okay, good. Now, what I'm talking about with the damsel, right? Some strange things going on in the earth. I'm telling you, man, them Africans gotta pay. You know what I mean? Because damsel is Naira, and this same Naira, right, is the currency in Nigeria. Oh. What is the name of the currency in Nigeria?
Nigerian Naira is the currency of Nigeria.
They got the Nigerian Naira, almost spelled similar to how we spell it in Hebrew. Now, what is, maybe a Nigerian, I don't know who knows some Nigerians, maybe you could ask some Nigerians, you know what I mean? What is Naira mean in Igbo? Because the Igbos is Nigerians. the Igbo, people want to say the Igbos are Israelites. The Igbos was trading in Naira. You know what I mean? And Naira just happened to be our word for woman. Of course, when we're in slavery, our woman is a thing to trade. They would trade in America. They would trade our woman. In the Middle East, the Arabs would trade our woman because we were sex slaves. Our women were sex slaves. But then the Nigerians happened to have a currency called the Naira. I'd be damned. If there's not no correlation there, I'd be damned. Okay? Good. The other word for man, right, is anash. 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 Right? So I want to look up some more on the hanash, but we're gonna put that on there too, right, for the woman. And just as this show us hanash, right, for woman, the other word for woman. Okay? So Ayash is the main way to say man. If you come across Anash, this is the old way to say man. And same way, Hanash is the old way to say woman. Alright? My pen is dying out. Let me see if I can get on the pen. Okay. By the way, boy is Yalad. Yalad. Same with English, the word lad. That word lad, like a lad in England, they'll call a young boy like a little lad. The boy in English, boy in Hebrew is Yalad. Alright? Lad. Right? English is born out of Hebrew. So you say a little lad, that lad is a Hebrew word from Yalad. Okay, we're going to use all day. Babble, you babbling on and on about nothing. Babble is the same thing in Hebrew. Babble, meaning you talking nothing. You talking confusion. Babble. Babel in English is babal in Hebrew. Babal. Do this all day. Camel. Camel in English is gamal. Gamal in Hebrew. Right? So camel in English, gamal in Hebrew. Right? Because we could do this all day. Right? What else we need to go over?
So like the other one, with that ma in mayash, does that as a preposition mean out?
Say it again.
With
There's no out in a preposition. So you can forget that. There's no out in the preposition. Out in Hebrew is taza'ah. 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 Ba'a, come, and then taza'ah, out. Ba'a is come. Of course, he's saying ba is in. What did he suggest was out as a preposition?
He said ma with that ma ma in ma'ayash.
Ma is of or from. Okay, so let me go over all the prepositions now. Okay, we got this. We good on this? I'm gonna take a picture of this real quick. Okay, so of course this right here is talking about this right here.
There's another question in the chat, sir.
Okay. Okay, let me hear the question.
The question is about the month.
The month.
The month, sir.
Oh, the month.
How to say the months in Hebrew? Would we do that, sir? We will say, or we will stick with the months that we have.
The month in Hebrew would be
actual Hebrew calendar.
No, our months are numbers. They numbered, right? So it would be like first month, second month, right?
But we would not like have a word to say January.
Not really. So all you see like Nissan and Abib and all that, that wasn't really our culture. When you look it up, that's from some Chaldean or some whatever we're going through in Babylon. You know, we're having all these different names for these things. You know what I mean? But when we look it up, our months go by in the first month. And when you read it, you know, it's going to say first month, right? Lashawan Qadash, or whatever the case may be, right? So just think of, when you come to months, for now, just stick with your numbers. That's not today's class numbers. We went over numbers, I believe, 2 weeks ago. So we want to go over numbers once a month, right? But of course, people are always asking new things, and there's always concerns. There's a world of concerns. So we don't get to go over the numbers too often, right? But you want to keep in mind, we're gonna probably get a chart or something, and we just have to decide, and we'll put a chart up, and we'll run over numbers quickly or something like that. We'll do something like that. Things that we gotta write all the time, the Hebrew alphabet, probably put on a chart in here or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. What was the answer again? Was that it? The month. Who's gonna do the prepositions, right?
Yes, the prepositions.
Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of this first. I don't know if I did it. I can't remember. Mine is all over the place. Okay, I took a picture of it. All right.
Nono check-in from Canyon County, California.
Who? What county?
Canyon County, well, she put country.
Kenya.
Canyon.
Kenyan spelling.
Canyon.
Spell it again?
Canyon. I believe she means county.
Oh, Canyon.
She put C at the end.
Canyon country. Canyon. Okay, I don't know if there's a Canyon. I never heard of a Canyon County, California, but then again, I'm from New York, so you know what I mean. But big up to Canyon County. You know what I mean? I should have left the boy on the board. Boy, that's your lad. Boy is Yalad. Girl is Naira. Right, that was that word for damsel. Girl. Boy, girl. Boy is Yalad, girl is Naira. Okay, good. So now, in the Hebrew alphabet, right? We're gonna start in alphabetical order for prepositions, right? So preposition, just as it says, pre meaning pre means before, and then position means the word in position. So the word in position will be the root word. The preposition or the preposition will go before the root word, all right? Preposition. Prepositions with an S, right? So we're going to start in alphabetical order. Ah is I. Ba is in or on. Ga is not a preposition. Da is a preposition. Da is do. Right? You're not going to see da very often, but you will see it. You'll see da as a preposition. It means do. Right? Abagada ha. Ha as a preposition is the. T-H-E. You see it everywhere. Alright? Ha bayat. Ha this. Ha Qadash. Ha sapar. Ha the book. Right? Ha this. Ha is how we say the. I believe the word the comes from ha. Right? Abagada ha. Wa. Wa is how you say and. Right? And. The same and signal, right? Wa. Abagada ha. Wa. Za. Za is not a preposition. Our za. Kha is not a preposition. Ta is not a preposition. Ka, ta, ya. Ya is the main preposition you will see everywhere. It means he or it. Alright? So of course you have the formal way to say he, which will be hawa'a. Right? When you see the hawa'a, this hawa'a can also mean it. based on its context, right? But this is more formal. This is more formal, right? So you would often, I should have never wrote it here. I should have wrote it over there, right? I wrote it there because I was going to erase it. But I'm thinking people might want to keep it. People want to remember it, right? Hawa'a. Hawa'a. Right? Hawa'a, right? This also means he and it. But you're often never going to see this. You're going to see this more like in the law. You see stuff like this in the law, right? What you're going to find for he or it, always, guaranteed, any page in the Bible you read, you're going to see Yah as a preposition, right? Now, it's good to know Hawa'a, because now this Hawa'a is the common way to say that, right? That, T-H-A-T, right? Let me write it bigger for you so you can see it. That, right? Let me bring this a little closer to the board, right? Right? They got it there?
Yes, sir.
You good? Okay. Right, good. Right? Mainly because what you're gonna find is even the page that we pulled out a while ago in the Hebrew Apocrypha, you're gonna come across wa, right? And this will be written as wa, right? Good, right? So right quick, what is ha as a preposition? Can you see this? I think they can see it right there, the ha?
Yeah, they see it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, come. What is a ha as a preposition? Who can guess what ha means? I'll give you first. Yeah. You got savage of experience to see that one, to know that one right there. Ha. Right? Ha is a preposition to say what? The. Good, right? The. And then ha, not used gendered, right, is to say it. Right? The plus it equals that. Let me do the plus out there so people don't get confused, right? I'm going to put a little and here. Right? You see what's going on? The and it equals that. Like the it, the it. You talking about that? Yes, that, the it. The and it equals that. That's what's going on in the how. You see it's everywhere. Let's see if I can find on the page that we were just looking at. A page, just popped up in our hands at one moment. Can't find a page. Page gone, y'all. Oh, found the page. There it is right here. There it is right here. Can you see this? Hawa'a. And they put a little dash on it. That means something to them too. Meaning that ha and this ha in their Jewish dialect is not pronounced the same way. You see what I'm saying? Hawa'a. The, it, that. You know what I mean? Of course, you have the word ashar, which would mean they'll use it as that, but it's that in a sense of which day it is or that day. But this is more like that physical thing, the it. All right? right? Let's continue on with the prepositions, right? Aba, gada, hawaza, kataya, ka. Ka is like. And this is not like I like ice cream and not like that. This is like as in as. Right? I believe they call this a simile. Is it simile or metaphor? The metaphor, or they're the same thing. I don't know. That's English, man. I tell you, man. English is going to hell, right? English is going to be cooked and fried and smoked. We're never going to speak no English again. We're going back to the Hebrew. How do I know that? The Bible, Jeremiah says, "Seek ye." Huh? Simile, the water. Give me Jeremiah 6:16 right quick.
16 and 16?
Yeah, 6 and 16.
Oh,
right?
I was talking about the hunting scripture.
Oh, I believe that's around there too.
16 and 16.
16 and 16 is the hunting, because we're going to get to some Hebrew, and then we're going to get the hunting. You see what I'm saying? God. I believe hunt, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Hunt has to do with the word tazad, right? Tazad is the root word. I believe there was a one called a tazayad, right? Okay, tazad means side. It doesn't mean hunt, right? But the word hunt, I believe, is built off of the word for tazad, right? And even the word tazad, the word side in English comes from this word, which is sad, right? Tazad, right? Sad, right? Tazad, right? Side in English comes from the word tazad, right? But English is born out of Hebrew, right?
I got the scripture on the screen.
You got the scripture on the screen? Okay. So of course, Jeremiah 6 and 16 as you read here. Right? Jeremiah 6 and 16. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord," this is what the Lord said. The Lord said this thing. "Stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old path." Right? Now, path, way, road, pathway, road, roadway in the Hebrew are all darak. All right? Darak. Shalom. Okay. Right? So I'm going to put road. Road or path is darak. D-E-R-A-K. Darak. Okay? So stand in all the roads and see, meaning look. Look in the Hebrew is ra'ah. It's another good one. See. Right? See. See is ra'ah. A very easy one to you know. Ra is a figure of a head. A cow, you put blinders on the cow so you can see straight. Ra and ah is ra'ah, right? See, look, right? See, right? Stand in the ways and ask for the old path. So what path do you ask for? Say, oh, that's the biblical times, man. That's, we got to deal with modern times. No, we already in modern times. Modern times ain't working. Modern times made us poor. Modern times and all this modern garbage make us can't afford the rent. Right? We don't want modern times. We want the old path. When there was, we want the past. Yeah, Ibar. We want Ibar. We want the past. Because in the past, there was no rent. It would just be born, mommy and daddy, and here's your quarter land in the back. Right? Do what you will. Get a woman from the tribe from the tribe you're choosing, and back then we couldn't choose women of each tribe. We have to stay with our own tribe until Christ. Right? So since Christ, everybody is okay. The reason why that's what people know, right? The reason why we were stuck with the woman of our tribe was so that each tribe would not lose the amount of land that they had. Right? So of course, if you marry a woman and her father ain't got no one to pass the land on to, right? The land we pass on to her. And her land, like my rib here, right? From the tribe of Asher, right? If I married her, and your family they got daddy, right? Okay, but say your family didn't have no sons, right? It was just you. You will get the land. When I marry you, your land becomes mine. Next thing you know, Benjamin got a flag in the country of Asher. And what's that gonna do? It's gonna create a fight. The Asherites are gonna say, "Hey, hold on! These West Indians is taking our land." You know what I mean? And so there was a law to say that we could not marry between tribes, but it was not so from the beginning. Okay? There's a lot of laws that was not so from the beginning, right? And Christ just came and took everything away. We don't got no land. Your land is wherever you pay rent at, and that changes every year. Let the rent go up a little bit. Where you live, you don't live there no more. Right? Good. Right? But we want the old path. We want the path from the time of Adam. Right? And it says, the scripture up there, Yatazar?
Seek ye, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way.
Stand in the way. So here's all the ways. Here's this way, here's the way of IUIC, here's the way of church, here's the Muslim way, the road to Mecca. You got the Silk Road going to India and Buddha and China and all that garbage. Stand in the ways, read.
And see.
And look at all of them. Meaning what? Meaning compare them. See what, observe. See what is the outcome of those. Look at what is done for you. Keep reading.
And ask for the old path.
You should be demanding. Ask in the Hebrew, sha'al. That ask means demand. You should demand the old path. Because we tried Islam. We tried Christian church. We went to Mecca. We went to China. Some of our sisters got the dot on their forehead. Some of them got the 30. Whatever that 30 is, namaste, whatever that garbage is. We tried all of that. We tried Rastafarianism. Right? But we have not tried really being an Israelite. And what does it say? And being an Israelite is the oldest path available. It's the biblical way. And when we say the biblical way, people say, "Oh, but we have to adapt. You have to adapt to the times." F that. We adapted to the days of before Moses. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the way of Adam. We're gonna do the way that Christ wanted us to do. Any more here?
Where is the good way?
And the Lord, this is the Lord saying this. Didn't he say at the beginning? Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
The Lord said, "This is the good way. This is the good road. This is the good path. The path that you never down. You never went down. All the paths that you took, you know what I mean? Got you a bunch of STDs, got your wife you can't get along with, got you no money, got you nowhere to live, and you got an injury from a job, and your life is going to hell, and you're on your way to jail." All right? Keep reading.
And walk therein.
And when you find that path, you have to walk in that path. Right? And that path is available in the ISUPK. You go to IUIC, you don't get an old path. You get a new path. You get a path that's all purple and lovely, and it's more adapted to the times. And they don't talk rough, they talk soft where they can, and they don't do the Hebrew. That's old. We talk English. We'll get a Hebrew when Christ come back. They said, even though that's not in the Bible. As a matter of fact, we're going to get that scripture next to prove that they are wrong in saying that. Keep reading.
And ye shall find rest.
And you shall do what?
Find rest.
See, in all these new paths, IUIC is a new thing. They was made in 2003. You see what I'm saying? All these other Israelite groups, they knew. What are you saying?
You can't rest in the IUIC if you're tired.
You can't rest in the IUIC. Oh, wait. Who's that one that died the other day? One of them, Joy Morgan. Joy Morgan, she rested in peace. She didn't find rest on earth. She had to die. She had to get murdered and get rest. So you go to IUIC, you ain't safe there. You're not going to find rest there. Rest for what?
For your soul.
Rest for your souls. Now, this ain't talking about resting in peace. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to find rest there. You're not going to find rest in the house of David, who has talked garbage about us. You're not going to find rest in church. You're not going to find rest in the nation of Islam. Right? Keep reading.
But they said, We will not walk therein.
They said they're not coming into the UPK. That's what they said. We're not going to walk into the UPK. We're not going to come into your doors. That's what they said. So much so, you look around the class. Here they are. They did not walk therein. Look at all these empty chairs because of people not wanting to walk therein. They'd rather walk into, what's all them groups that talk garbage about us? WFI. They'd rather walk into Sakari. You know what I mean? They will not walk into this old way. They walk into the place that got the fitteds because fitted caps is cool. It's new. Fitted baseball caps. Fitted caps is new. Mitris, oh, that's old. Mitris and war scarves and die. Oh, that's old, man. Yeah, nah, give us the fitted caps. Give us the ACGs. Give us they wear the tassels in their belt loops. That's Jewish. That ain't fringes. That's not on the border of a garment. This is a garment. This is a fringe on the border of a garment, right here, right? They don't even wear garments. You know, they into new things. They don't want the old way. You see what I'm saying? So they're not gonna find rest in there. Let me get Zechariah, right? Zechariah 3, Zephaniah 3 and 9. Okay, let's start at verse 8. All right, let me finish these prepositions on the board right quick. We'll get the word for hunt another time. Let me look up the word for hunt. All right. Bear with me 1 second. We want the one in Jeremiah 6, 6, 7, 9. Tazawad. So there you go. Hunt is Tazawad. Well, that's according to the concordance, right? Let me just look in the scripture. Jeremiah 16 and 16. Tazayad yum. Tazayad is by the way, it's a throwing axe. Right? And what? Tazad wam. Tazad, right? So Tazad I had on the board. So what I had was right. Hunt is Tazad. That's Lord. I wasn't even sure. Right? Tazad is hunt. Right? And Tazad also is the same word to say side. When you hunt a man or animal, right? That animal or man is going to end up on its side when you hunt them. So this is black language. I say, yo, line up the rooks there. Line up the rooks there. We're gonna side some man, you know. So what am I saying? I'm gonna side some man. We're gonna put some men on their side. Ain't that right, that is all. Yeah, we're gonna go down there.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Put some men on their side, like barbecue. What you saying? Well, not like barbecue. Barbecue not in the truth, y'all. We're not affiliated with barbecue. What you saying? Barbecue is a famous killer in Haiti. Slug.
I'm about to look something up.
Oh yeah, come on. What you say?
That's barbecue to say.
Tazalai.
Rib. I also saw that as side. But what is the difference between that and Tazad?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Side is Tazad.
Okay.
So we just keep it nice and keep a nice straight narrow road onto what side is, right? So before hunt, the word for side is Tazad. The word Tazad is side, and then of course hunting, you're putting animals on their side. Okay. Good. You want to read that scripture there,
You wanted verse 8, sir?
Babu Shah.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
This is heavy. Okay. So even right now, right? We in slavery right now. We don't know who we are. Well, we know we're not UPK, but our people still are just now finding out they're Israelites, and it's shocking to people. Like you said the battle, our brothers, that you're not an Hamite, you're not an African. We have to tell them that you are an Israelite. There were people I never heard of an Israelite before the UPK. I never even knew that it was a thing that existed. Jew was just a strange white man to me. I didn't even know that this was a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then, of course, the Israelites were real people. They were dark-skinned, they had braids, and they made the best music and everything. And half of our nation split in 700 BC, went to the Americas, and we split over in two parts of the earth. You know what I mean? No sweat. We're in America now, and you're taking a strike at UPS because the slavery here is hard, and you earn a little bit of money. You can barely pay the rent. You're not living. You know what I mean? You're doing a whole lot of producing, a whole lot of work, but you ain't living. You see what I'm saying? You making some other white man rich.
Right.
But I think that ends now with the end of affirmative action, right? So I think now it's back to black kitchens and black stores and black. I doubt
affirmative action.
I don't know, but that's what they're saying. If affirmative action ends, that means the end of poor white men becoming rich off of black and Latino work. So we're gonna have to get black and Latino hospitals now.
Because here's the point.
Yeah.
What it was is
just quickly. Yeah.
Affirmative action was really about tricking black people into wanting to work for white people. I don't see that ending. So it's like what you really because all affirmative action
I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
Oh, okay.
Just I pray for the day. But if affirmative action ends,
right.
Black and Latino instantly, just give it days or months and a couple of years. You know, you're gonna have black people who were poor. They are all of a sudden gonna be very rich.
Right.
Because who you gonna buy your light bulbs from if you can't go to Home Depot? You're gonna need your own black Home Depot.
Right.
When you go to your black Home Depot, he has to be supplied with black made light bulbs, black made drywall, black made wooden beams, black made pipes, so that's a whole new economy. Which is why you're saying they ain't gonna do it, because they will pass on wealth to us. What are you saying about it? Quickly.
It's definitely a benefit, because the thing I always said about entrepreneurship and doing things in the resource kingdom is that our ancestors put us in a tightrope. Long story short, now if I want to create a big business and say, no, I want to only hire black people across the nation, that I'll be considered racist. Affirmative action, you should hire white people.
Yeah.
And it's against us. And if I may, that's how our other nations do it. Like, why do you think there's not a chain of Arab delis? There's all independently owned. Because the minute they go above a certain amount of delis, they have to start hire. They have to be under government supervision, and then the government can say, no, you can only hire. That's how they can keep it mom and pop, because it's only 1 or 2 people, and then they have some bigger Arab who's giving them all their supplies.
Okay. Hold on.
Johnson. Yeah, I gotta look into it, because I heard about it, but I haven't had time to really research what they're saying it is. More than likely, it's basically saying it's unconstitutional.
I know this. I know this much. At the end of America, when America's fallen, right? And America's only gonna fall, according to the Bible, America's only gonna fall when the Israelites turn back to the Most High. The same way like in Egypt. When Egypt was falling, we was worshiping all kind of Egypt gods, Ra, or whatever, blah, blah, right? And then there was a point where we said we ain't going to worship the Egyptian gods no more. We're going to turn to the God of our fathers. And they said we call upon the name of the Most High, and he had respect unto us. Right. And when he did that, he then raised up Moses to deliver us out of there. So now if you're in America now, and we start worshiping these white Christian gods and these Muslim gods, and whatever God that was given to us here, and we turn back to the Most High, the Most High is going to have respect unto us. And the Most High is going to turn the tables. Right. By his promise, that was the covenant, that we'll be blessed if you obey his commandments. So more and more, we obey his commandments, just like Eglon in the book of Judges, where the ego was strengthened by our sins, America will be weakened by the reducing of our sins. You see what I'm saying? And if America gets weakened, that means before America ends, we become on top of America. That's what it means. Just like in Rome. You see what I'm saying? And I believe what president said that again. He don't want America to be like Rome. Was that Thomas Jefferson, right?
I'm not sure.
There's a president he quoted. He was in your history class. You said a president in America said he does not want America to become like the Middle Ages in Europe, something like that. So he's talking about keeping blacks down or something like that. But man, you forgot. How did you forget Ibadia, man? I was depending on you to bring the sources for cats. Yes, it's all.
I know Reagan said, black unity. I forgot how he terms it.
Yeah.
Is the biggest threat. Like you don't want black to unify. I can't remember exactly the term.
I know Hoover said we can't let a Messiah rise among them. I forgot where he said unify.
Okay. You don't really come to you over time, all right?
So
Finishing off the prepositions right quick. La is to, ma is of or from. If you're from Chicago, you, ma Chicago. You from Philly, you, ma Philly. You from Haiti, ma Haiti. Meaning you're from Haiti, or you know what I mean? You'll say Hazahar from New York, Hazahar, ma New York.
you know
what I mean?
For tribe.
Yes. Okay, but in tribe, the way how we say tribe, we'll say you're the son of Judah because that's lineage. Right? Unless you if you say ma, yeah, if you say ma Aparium,
right?
I'm looking at you like he's of Judah that lived in Ephraim's land. You see what I'm saying? It's like we live there.
Yeah, okay, so
You know what I mean?
not as much on location.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You could have a chair, and you can turn this chair into something else that's only made from chairs, and you call that thing ma chair. Kasar is a chair, man. Kasar with a K-A. Put on the board somewhere. Chair. Right? Kasar. I believe in the Bible, this word comes up as throne. A throne is a chair. Right? Can you see? Are you changed it? Oh, my bad. Check it and see if it's okay again. All right. So you can take that scripture down and be at this, all right? Right. So we got la meaning to, ma of or from, na. When you see a word that begins with na, the root word might have na in it. That na is just removed when a preposition is there. So, for example, the proper word for lift, to lift something up, is properly na sha'a. More than likely, you're never ever going to see written na sha'a. We're going to see written is sha'a. Sha'a. Right? So sha'a is lift the chair. Lift the chair. Right? So, lift the chair. The word chair is kasa. Right? I lift the chair. I is I.
Right.
Because we didn't really get to construct sentences all class. So here we go before the class ends. Right?
902, sir.
Huh?
Time check. 902.
902. See, there you go. We up in the time. Sha'a. Meaning I. Sha'a.
Right.
I'm lifting. Ha is the. Chair is kasa. Sha'a. Ha kasa.
Do you have to say ha?
I would say, if you lift, Asha'a, Kasa. Okay, you could, right? I'm trying to think of. The scripture says, "Seek the old path." So I try to stay with, how they did it, and not do some new thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just be safe. We say
If I may, so would it be like a formal way of saying it and an informal way of saying it?
Of what?
Like saying
Nasha.
Hasha, Ha, Kasa.
Or to say
And then the informal way would be to not use Ha, to just say what's the word for lift?
Sha'a.
Ha, sha'a, kasa.
I've-
Informal versus formal.
Okay, but in the scriptures, right? We'll read formal
Right,
in a section, and then we'll see the regular talk.
right,
And there's a lot of examples of regular talk. Regular talk is using prepositions for everything,
right.
right? Right. So we got Yah to say he, regular, right? Formal is to say how are. You spin bars with
Right.
formally. How are this? For the sisters,
Hiya.
haya are. Haya are. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's a different. It's not too much change. It's just like that. Us, you see anak nawa, say we. You know, regular, we wouldn't say anak nawa. We would say, you must take a picture. Regular, we would say whatever we're saying and then put nawa at the end of it. It's like a patois, it's like a Creole,
Right,
the way we talk regularly in Hebrew.
right.
And by the way, most Israelites could not read. Right? So when you read in the scriptures, you're looking at a whole bunch of people that don't even read. You're looking at the priests, their job will be reading. If you got a business and you got to tally up things, and you know, you probably read and write. But from what I was told, most Israelites did not even read or write. Your thing was rolling the block up the pyramids of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Or your thing was, you know, your own agriculture, and you would speak, but you wasn't really a reader or writer. From what we were simple people. We seen about it.
That's why David had to go to King Solomon.
So say louder.
That's why David had to go to King Solomon. I remember John Muhammad broke it down. Like right after he got anointed, that's when Saul got the demons. That was the Most High basically training David up to start to be able to shadow Saul to become a king. No, shadow Saul so that David could eventually become king.
Yeah.
One of the things he probably had to learn was, if you're going to be around me, learn how to read.
Good, nice. So you're saying King David probably didn't know how to read before he was king.
Right, but his job is being a shepherd.
His
Watch the sheep.
His job was watch the sheep. When the lions come, take your sword. Don't write nothing. That lion can't read the signs that stop. You know what I mean? That lion knows a sword. You know what I mean?
If
That
I
sounds
may,
about right.
quick side note. Jesse didn't even think him worthy enough to eat.
Jesse was
No,
down.
where's the last one? I thought you had A. Oh, I left him with the sheep.
God. Oh, right quick before we go. What you saying at this up?
We have a question in the chat, sir.
Okay.
I'm still like the other one. It's coming from Napash Rai. We say Salaki, sir.
Napash who?
Napash Rai.
The Pashrai from Georgia. Okay.
He said, if I may, how would you pronounce thou hated in Hebrew?
Thou hated.
Sir.
Hated is what again? Shana'ah. Shana'ah is hate.
Thou hateth.
Thou hateth.
Hateth.
You hate. So okay. For example, that's another thing. Athar. Like we say athar.
Right.
Say you. Athar. No, not I you. I thought like how about Shema Shah? I thought.
No, but I was breaking it down with the.
Oh, I know you, but not that one. Like you, like I thought.
I
thought is formal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't often see that.
Right.
You will usually see
Or
ka. You see tha, right? Or you see ka at the end of the word for you and yours, and you know. So say to you in Hebrew is laka. It's not la ata.
Right.
So ata is formal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We say that to so.
If I may say, it will be Barak Tha.
No, it will be no. Well, tha is a preposition.
Okay.
Rak tha. If you say tha, then I'm gonna think possessive, and you know, at the end of a word, end of the word, you say rak tha, I'm gonna think you're talking about blessings. Blessings, a whole bunch of blessings, a category of blessings, because a tha at the end of a word is not the same as the preposition. So,
is what at the end of the word?
Barak ka. We've got in the prayers. Barak, something like that. Baraka, right? Your Baraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh, yeah, he bless you.
Yeah, he bless you. You know what I
He
mean?
bless you the most high. Technically translated. Yabaraka Yahweh, Wa'asha Martha.
Pipe or something, right?
I think it's the AC.
Okay.
Wa'yasha Martha. Yeah, come.
Waya Shamar Ka.
Yeah, come. And he watch you.
And he watch you.
Come.
You know what I mean? Come. So he would say, thou hated, and past tense will be Shana Ya'a. Right? So Tha Shana Ya'a.
You hate
Right?
it.
Right, you hated.
Right.
He wanted to say thou hated. That's what he wanted. Thou hated.
God, so,
Okay.
Pertaining to and God.
Or if, depending, it
You
could,
look,
you could say thou hated, or it could be Shana'a Ka or Shana'a Yaka.
Yeah,
It depends. Huh?
He has a scripture, sir. Ezekiel 35:16.
Okay, so let's go there.
God, sir.
Right, and then I want my scripture so we can help and get out of here, right? Ezekiel, what again?
35:16.
35:16. Oh, well, 35 stops at verse 15.
Oh, sorry, 35:6. Sir, sorry.
Oh, 35:6. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this one is Shana right? So this is a different thing that he asked for, right? Shana
35 and 6.
Yeah. Right.
In this one, it says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Mm-hmm.
Saith, thou hast not hated blood,
Mm-hmm.
even blood shall pursue thee.
Okay. Right. So he's reading this and he's trying to make the parallel.
Right.
Right. That thought, the end of the word is not you. Right. I know they have that written there. Right. That's not the culture of how we speak in English. Right. So English and Hebrew is two different cultures. So you see the Shana Ath. That Ath is like category words or category, not category. It's like speaking in a sense of plurality where you're not counting anything. You're speaking of an overall thing.
Right.
So I'll say category. Huh?
Essential.
You're losing me.
Meaning like to denote a larger group.
There you go.
No.
All right. So this is talking about all these things that he's hated. So it's not as he hate blood. He has hate. I can only say it from the terms that I know, right? Relating to the Hebrew, right? Where he's hated a various things, right? In this category here. So whatever that is on a larger scale, it's that. All right? Okay. Now we need a scripture. Zephaniah 3:8. Okay.
Salakia.
Book of
If I may, reading out of the Yaradapta, that would be the youth, wouldn't it? And then the
Say it again.
youth for the.
You talking about in the prayer?
No. In this verse, in the Ezekiel.
But we gotta keep rolling up by it, right? Because we went over it already, right? Thought the end of a word is pluralization without counting. It's pluralization in a large scale, more like a category. Just think category, right? And you'll be good, right? So of course, when you're reading Hebrew, right? When you're reading that part especially, right? You know the context of how we speak. We speak like niggas in Hebrew. That's how we talk, right? Right. So you just pick up the context and you know what's being said. In English, you have to say you have hated or thou hast hated, but that's what they call transliteration. You know, you put it in the English way of speaking. All right, you're adding things in a what they call a commonly predicted manner. Right, that's all over the Bible. Let's get the scripture though. Zephaniah 3 and 8.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me.
Right. So now we're in America. We're waiting on the Most High. We're not picking up guns to go fight the oppressor or to get free or to get our homeland back. Or we're not flying to Ghana. Or we're not flying to. We're not flying to Dimona. Right? That's not the mission. Keep reading.
Saith the Lord.
Save the Lord.
Until the day that I rise up to the prey.
God said this. Until the day that he rises up to the prey. And here's the thing. In Psalms, the Lord said, in the Christian church, I'm paraphrasing, right? The context, if the Christian church had opened their mouth and did what we do in UPK, he would have rose up to the prey sooner. But the Lord did not raise up to the prey sooner because of the Christian church. But now wait upon the Lord until he rises up to the oppressor, the white man. Keep reading.
For my determination.
And this is why the UPK don't get raided. Because this is what we believe. This is not what some other Israelites believe. But we believe this right here. You see what I'm saying? So our reputation is peaceful. Because anything that wanted to happen to America, right, it will be the Lord's bidding out there. Tell them the angels have done it. Spread it through the media. We pray for that. You know what I mean? To keep the disciples of Christ safe. Keep reading.
Is to gather the nations.
Read it again.
For my determination.
The Lord's determination is, what the Lord wants is to
gather the nations.
Gather the nations. Gather all the other races of people. Gather the Arabs and gather the Chinese and gather the whites in America. Gather the whites in Russia. Keep reading.
That I may assemble.
I mean what?
Assemble.
The Lord is going to assemble these races of people. Today you call them countries. North Korea, Russia. Assemble the Chinese. Assemble the Japanese. The Japanese got their weapons again. Assemble the Germans. The Germans got their Russians again. Assemble the Ukrainians. Assemble the Russians. Assemble the U.S. military. Keep reading.
The kingdoms.
And the kingdoms. Kingdoms in the Bible is country. Right? So when you see kingdom, country. All right, boy.
To pour upon them.
To pour upon these countries, these nations, these races of people. Go ahead.
My indignation.
The Lord's anger. The Lord is angry about something. So the Lord is only gathering these people, North Korea, and Russia, and America, and Iran, and Iraq, and whoever. He's gathering them only to pour out the Lord's anger. Keep reading.
Even all my fierce anger.
Even all of those fierce anger, because the Lord's chosen children, who he loves, who he said is the apple of my eye. You've heard it before, right? The apple of my eye. Atheists are going to tell you that his son is the apple of my eye, but you don't believe in the Bible. Apple of my eye, right? No problem. The apple of the Lord's eye is in slavery in America, dying at UPS, passing out. Dying in America, dying in police brutality, going to jail for nothing. Led to live a life that leads them to live a life of jail and hell, man. Keep going.
For all the earth
shall
be devoured.
Shall all the earth be devoured. Now, how is that going to happen? Leave it to IUIC. How is that gonna? Who's gonna do that? No one man can do that. No one people, because they believe that, or Israel, they believe that. I'm saying that because they believe that it's impossible for the 144,000 to come out of the ISBK, because they saw us when we was like 50 brothers. Remember when we joined the school? UPK was like 50 brothers, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we were like 50, 60 brothers. How much we about, because we're not numbering them. The Lord said to not number the men. Right. But we about a good solid 1,000 plus. You know what I mean? I could say we're 1,000 plus. No problem. You know what I mean? Right. You weren't about counting the first. And then Christ said, some of the men are going to come dead from the ground from ancient time. You see what I'm saying? The dead in Christ are raised first, and we shall meet them in the clouds in Thessalonians. What do you say about it?
I was going to say, Kazazar was like, he said this in Yonkers during the Passover. He's like, I remember my first Passover was at the top of our Hamburg, where we held class. That was small ass little section. Yeah. And it's like back then, you might have had to really be with it to be in the truth. But by the time it got to Yonkers, that Passover, that's why you gotta know.
Yeah, in Yonkers,
it's like
we couldn't breathe in Yonkers. Yonkers was, that place, we couldn't even breathe in it. You know what I mean? Everybody squeezed up in there though. Yeah. You know what I mean? God. Even the UK, the brothers in the UK. One time we just Captain Russia and Karathia. Now they got like a whole camp of brothers now.
Yeah.
They got women and children in there being born into the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know. Go ahead, Priyanka.
With the fire of my jealousy.
With the fire of the Lord's jealousy, and that's actual fire. Actual fire. Now, how is the earth going to get actual fire if not for thermonuclear destruction? So, you have fools out there, right? They try to make sense of the Bible, right? Not knowing what the Lord can do. The Lord can bring everyone into the UPK. You know what I mean? IUIC is going to be a thing that's not even exist anymore. It's going to be, like, I don't even feel like even talking about them too much because they're going to be a thing that's not even here. Like when they first hit the brothers of the KC4, of course, that's the prime time, like we're still holding it to them, but like there's something that we know is going to be gone, like, you know what I mean? So, they're not even hot. Go ahead, buddy.
Like y'all not even sometimes a doctor, Kasha.
Yeah, I mean they was popping when they was around, and we see the pattern. But I body we gotta keep pushing on, right? Go ahead, yes, sir.
You want verse 9?
So now after the Lord pours out his fire in the nation, after the Lord gathers the nations, you see what I'm saying? In that day when he gathers the nations, right, where he's going to pour out his fire, anger, and the thermonuclear fire. Keep reading.
For
what?
Then.
At this time when he gathers the nations and getting all of the bombs ready for all that thermonuclear fiery in the nation, the fierce anger of the Lord. When he gathers the nations, read.
Will I turn to the people?
Will I turn to the people? Read.
A pure language.
A pure language. Yiddish is not a pure language. That ain't the language the Lord talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's not pure. That's polluted of European vowels.
Yeah.
Now, if this is not the ISUPK in the Bible, again, I'll be damned. You ain't gonna tell me the Lord is not working with the UPK. You're not telling me that the Bible is not talking about the UPK. The place where yesterday, a while ago, it said, seek the old paths and the paths and the old paths, and not all these groups that got these new paths and they wanna let in the Filipinos some new thing and all that new things that's going on. The old path where brothers don't want to come to. It said seek the old way, and then the brothers told the Lord, we will not go that way. We will not enter therein. You know what I mean? As to why the school is so, it sometimes be empty. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't want to come in. But the Lord is saying, in that same place, right? When the Lord is gathering the nations and assemble means they line up in ranks. And they making the whole square, and they got a line of 7 brothers and 7 lines going down to the back. You see what I'm saying? Then will I turn? What are you saying that to them? What are you saying?
I was gonna say, so when you buy certain furnitures now, they give you like a image to how to assemble it, put it together. So basically, the Most High, he's putting these nations together.
He's putting the nations together
just to destroy them,
just so they can destroy themselves out of the Lord's anger, because they benefited. China wouldn't have China without niggas, straight up. Without niggas, the Latinos, the brothers in the Caribbean, they would not have China, because all of the money is selling all the made in China goods to us. And the only way you could have made in China goods to sell to America is if the slaves built America. Or else America wouldn't have the money to buy all these China goods per individual. So the only reason China is great is because of the Israelites in captivity in America, right? But then after he assembled the nations, right? I will do what? I'll turn to the people a pure language,
that they may all call upon the name of the Lord.
That we may all call upon the name of the Lord, because the Lord respected us when we call upon the name of the Lord, because the Lord's name is not Allah, the Lord's name is not Jehovah, the Lord's name is not Yah. Right? But to get the Lord's name, you need to know how to take the European vowels out of Hebrew. Originally, the consonants were not used. Isn't that what it said in Yale University, Mr. Law? Originally, the consonants were not used. So the Lashawan Qadash is that pure language. removing all the pollutants. And that's the ISUPK under Command and Gianna in the Bible. In the Bible. Well, wait. If it's not us, then where? Where? You know what I mean? House of David, they came out of here. They over there teaching garbage. They over there believing that a priest can't do a Sabbath. That's a new thing.
What?
That's not an old path. That's a new path. That's a Christian path. That's a path so new, right? You know who did that? People that was later than Moses. Brothers in the days of the Maccabees believed that they could not fight on the Sabbath. You know, because they don't know the law. You know what I mean? They don't know nothing, man. Christ said, don't you know the Bible? He said, don't you know that the priest profaned the Sabbath? You see what I'm saying? House of David don't know the Bible. You see what I'm saying? That's a new thing. They made it in 1995. You see what I'm saying? Seek the old path since 1969. Them Demona cats, they were Jewish. They still wear kufis. They wear African dashiki and a kufi. That's not the way of David. That's not what you see Isaiah wearing or Jeremiah wearing. Shadrach and Abednego, they wouldn't wear no African dashiki. They wear garments like what we wear in UPK. They wear diadem, they wear war scarves and meat trees. IUIC don't wear no meat trees. They believe, right quick. Right quick. They look at this thing on this beautiful thing on this head. This is called a diadem in the Bible. We call it a headpiece today. This is the biblical diadem. If IUIC wears this, they say your head is covered. So that's a new thing. That's not then how would they wear the diadem? IUIC is a fake religion. It's a fake Israelite. It's fake. It's a fake Israelite camp. You know what I mean? So don't seek that new garbage. Seek the old path. The old path is full of meat trees and diadems and headpieces and garments. And you know what I mean? The Lashawan Qadash is in the Bible. Zephaniah 3:9. It's talking about the UPK. It's not talking about wait. How can you go to a fake Israelite group after knowing this? To some HOI, some new thing. Some WSI, some new thing. Some Sakari, some new thing. And the Lashawan Qadash rules are made there. They would say what? They came out of some group that came out of One West. They all say it. They're letting you know where the old path is. They're letting you know where they came from. And they're letting you know the UPK came from One West. So they are telling you, essentially, where is the good path you should go, where you will find rest, following the straight path. Because wide is the path of destruction. On this old path, you shall find rest for your souls. It's the good way. Okay, I'm done. All right. Anything else before you gotta go? That's it. Sir. All right. And I pass the class of priest officer 5,000. That's the camp leader of Haiti. Clap it up.
Clap it up for the class. All right, most time thanks. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajam, which means to stand. Amajam Shabbat. Amajam, Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yachmatah. Saw to the sister Amajam. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amajam Shabbat. Amajam, Barak. Yahweh Shema Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yachmatah. Dismissed.